right, it's time we get into some baseball news. Justin Verlander, coming off a Cy Young season, is on the move to the New York Mets. It was between the Yankees, Mets, and Astros, and apparently Kate Upton and them decided, hey, they boo people in New York, but at least they don't boo their own players with the Mets. So, hey, we'll go ahead and go with the Justin Verlander to the Mets, and hey, I think it's a good deal, right? You get him, you get Scherzer, you have to replace deGrom. Scherzer versus deGrom, that's an interesting little debate because, well, injury histories. I mean, deGrom's younger, but he's just as hurt as Justin Verlander. What do you think of this move for them?
You say that New York doesn't boo their own players, but I am a San Diego fan, my friend. I watched that wild card game last year. I watched them boo their players off the field in a game 3 that didn't sell out.
It's not I, it's Kate Upton. Kate Upton made that assertion when deciding between the Yankees and Mets, but yeah, I feel like it's about the same. I feel like Jets, Knicks, Giants, whoever it is in New York, they tend to boo. If you play bad, they will boo.
Yes, I agree. In terms of the Verlander signing, it was reported that after deGrom signed with Texas, they had offered 3 years and $120 million. And if you look at the terms of Verlander's contract, if you include the third-year option that's not going to be accepted, it's basically a 3-year, $120 million contract. So they just took that money they were going to give deGrom and moved it on over to Justin Verlander to fill the exact same spot, which is a number 2 starter on the rotation. And I actually agree with you. This is probably a better move for the New York Mets than giving Jacob deGrom a bunch of money. Now, a 40-year-old off Tommy John surgery, not necessarily the best bet, but 39-year-old coming off Tommy John surgery, he won Cy Young last year. So like Justin Verlander is a Hall of Famer who has defied all expectations, I think like 3 times now. Cause like when he got traded from Detroit to Houston, his numbers were not looking great. And then he got to Houston and turned it around. Then he had a Cy Young season in 2019 where he outplayed Garrett Cole, who didn't allow an earned run for like 20 consecutive weeks. Justin Verlander's been great. So, coming off Tommy John to do it again is pretty remarkable. And also I saw Jacob deGrom only pitch in 11 games last year and give up 7 runs against the Oakland A's. So fastball pitcher going into his mid 30s. I think Texas is going to not do great on that deal. So you know what? I think the New York Mets might actually be winners with the short-term Justin Verlander signing, at least for next year.
What I'm always so impressed by with Verlander, and obviously it showed in the Cy Young year, is his stuff still looks so sharp. The fastball's still there for a guy, like you mentioned, 39, coming off the surgery. All his pitches have not skipped a beat. Still's got the curveball. The postseason success, he struggled a little bit in the World Series there, but still, nonetheless, comes down with 2 rings in his career. So you're getting a proven commodity. And even if he does regress, what's the worst case? He regresses to like your 3rd starter, maybe a 4th starter. At 39, that's usually what you would get in a guy. But I think that Verlander, his numbers will still maintain even as he makes this switch to the National League. And yeah, Steve Cohen, you got to give it to an owner who's willing to go out there and make the investment for the fans and get a player like Justin Verlander. And hey, both you and I could root for this. At least he didn't sign with the Dodgers.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. The Dodgers got Kershaw for half the price, which depends on what they do with that extra $20 million. So it's a good process, certainly. I think the money thing is a big deal because they basically said we have allocated $40 million to our number 2 starter. We are okay giving deGrom $40 million a year, and we're okay giving Justin Verlander $40 million a year. I think Verlander was clearly their plan B. Although, again, as we've articulated, it might work out better that they got their plan B compared to Jacob deGrom. I just think it's interesting how they are able to allocate that money. Still coming out of this, I feel very strong. The Mets need another quality, like top of the rotation starting pitcher, whether that comes in a trade, whether that comes in a signing. I think they definitely need another starter. I love Bassett as much as the next person. He pitched pretty great in that game 3 against the Padres. I know they ended up losing, but it wasn't really his fault that they ended up losing. That was a great acquisition from Oakland. Cookie Carrasco is not really that guy anymore who you could throw into a playoff situation. So I think they need one more starting pitcher to really compete, but it's good that they locked down that number 2 option with at least their plan B option with, we have $40 million to spend. At least we got something that is of a number 2 starter quality.
All right, guys. Well, if you think that this is going to be a difference maker type deal for the New York Mets, drop below in the comment section. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel Follow us on all our social medias from Juju and Kyle. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. We will see you next time.